Hello, sunshines, and welcome to 2025. It is Shanel here from the Heart and Soul with your year forecast for 2025. And my spirit guides were clear that the energy today was what I needed to use. I think that's partially because yesterday I was preparing for a beautiful New Year's Eve event that I am so grateful that I got to hold space for. It was such an incredible night. Thank you to all of you that came out. It was so beautiful to share space with you. And today I have nothing going on. So I think they wanted me to be in that state where I didn't feel rushed or, having to get it done kind of thing. So we are diving into the energy of 2025 today. They have been clear that there's going to be a message for the whole of 2025. I'm assuming some themes and that sort of stuff that we need to know about. And then we're going to switch up and go month by month. And they've said go by month, and there will be a theme, a focus, and a beware for each and every month. So this one is going to be a little bit longer. It is going to be just one video this year. This is the first one where I'm not using cards. It is all channeled. So it is just going to keep going because I don't want to break up the energy of the channeling that's coming through. So I will make sure that there's chapters if you are watching this on YouTube, if you're watching it anywhere else. It's just going to be a long one, and it's going to be so good. I'm very excited for the energy of 2025. Every time I've tapped into it, it comes through with such a beautiful energy that I can't really put words to. It's more of a feeling, and that seems to be like it's going to be a theme this year, this whole feeling thing. It's been coming through a lot, but I'm going to let them tell you. I am excited for what the energy brings for all of us. I'm excited to see what it brings personally for my relationships, for my family, for my business. It just feels like such an incredible energy year. There is this tortoise and hare factor that keeps coming in, this piece of things moving so swiftly and so slowly all at the same time. There's a gentleness to this expansiveness that we are stepping into. But again, I will let them tell you. I, of course, am going to continue in 2025 offering private sessions, which I do over Zoom, which gives you a recording at the end. On a monthly basis, there's certain things that I do every single month. Second Friday of the month is Yoga Nidra at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join me in person at Dundas Yoga and Fitness, or you can join me online on Zoom. I do have a Yoga Nidra club, which gives you access to about 25-30 recordings at this point. Each month the recordings put in there, so you have access to that. Always on the second Friday of the month, I also do a gallery reading. It's mediumship. It is limited to 8 souls, and it is in person only at Dundas Yoga and Fitness. It is a guaranteed reading. Then the last Wednesday of every month, I do a group Zoom past life regression. If you haven't experienced it, past life regression is just such an incredible way to access information. It's very experiential, and it's very different than the way we normally access things. So it is a cool experience. It's over Zoom, and I teach you how you can record your voice, and you can go back over the information that you got. So it is super fun. So those happen every single month. I have been at Mystic Ramen every month, which has been so fantastic. So if you're looking for an in-person private session, they are only mini sessions, but I've been headed there every month, and I'm loving it. I'm back in January on the 9th. It's a Thursday. I'm there between 5 and 10 p.m. It's ramen and a reading. So get a bowl, fill your belly, fill your soul with some reading. It's a great night. I also have an urban retreat coming up, and that is on January 11th. It is a retreat all about creating your fertile ground. It's about manifesting your dreams in 2025. So let's get on to the information that you are here to actually listen to, the information about what to expect in 2025. So I'm going to just take a moment to tap into my spirit guides and start to channel the information, and it's flowing in fast. There is a riptide, they're calling it, of information that is flowing in incredibly fast. And with it, there is so much information, not information that we are technically seeing or even hearing. It is more this remembering within the soul. There is energy flowing in. There are codes that are being activated. It's like so many things that are being turned on in your body. They're showing it to me like booting up a computer back in the day, or like in the movies, a robot or something that we're turning on and all the lights are starting to light up and things are, you can hear that sound of things turning on. There is so much going on in the body. So they're like, theme number 1 is remembering. We are coming back to the energy and the rememberings of things that were. And when they say were, they don't want to say the past because they're acknowledging different dimensions and realms, time frames. But there is this remembering of source energy and what came through it. They're acknowledging that we have this divine wisdom that flows through us that a lot of us don't access, but we could. And they're like, why don't you? Yeah, that one hits. There is so much information at the tips of your fingers. They're like, it's all in your cellular memory if you can choose to learn how to access it, which is the second theme they're telling me. They're calling it frequency. There is this new frequency, and I've been talking about this for a little while, this energy of shutting off the logical mind. As I always say, not your turn, wait over there. And it's not that we're not using logic or emotion or heart center, but it's this awareness of how to find the place in between, to tap into our intuition fully and completely so that we can allow the heart or the mind to step in, but in a gentle way. Instead of it taking over, it instead joins in. I think that's the best way I can explain it, and I'm sure I'm going to explain it 100 million times over this next year. And I'm sure I'm going to teach about it as well, so be patient with me as they give me more words and energy to understand it. But when I feel this, it's this tortoise and hare thing that they keep talking about. It is this piece of, how is it that we are able to move at this like incredibly high, fast frequency, yet at the same time have this energy of like ease and freedom and relaxation. It seems so contradictory, but they're telling me really clearly that this is just the way that we're supposed to be. We have access to this higher dimension, this higher realm, as at the same time, when we access it, it's like time slows down. So again, it's high frequency, high vibration, high movement, but at the same time, it feels so relaxing. It feels like we're just flowing and moving, and it's beautiful. They're like heart center. That's our theme number 3 for the year, clearly. This heart-centered frequency is where they're asking us to move from. And when I say heart-centered, they aren't talking about the way we access information anymore. They're actually referring to kind of our state of being. We are being asked to step into a frequency of love. This is what the Age of Aquarius, which we are in, is all about. It is about stepping into a frequency where we start by honoring ourselves and listening to our body and our soul and what we need. We often deem this as selfish because society has told us that's the way it is. But what we don't recognize is that we were told this to take power and control. But now it's time to take it back. It is time to really honor ourselves. And in that honoring, we then are able to serve others with more. I love it. They just give me these like rushes of feelings and I can't put words to them. There is this place where when we move from a place where we're loving ourselves, we then show that respect to others to honor them, but also this piece of the frequency that we move in has more ease and light and reflection. We are able to reflect and see what people are reflecting back to us. Excuse me, very sorry. You know my rule, no edits. There is this frequency of being able to see the mirror for ourselves, what people are showing us. Excuse me. Clearly I'm doing some releasing for us all today. But also this piece of, we move from a place of compassion and empathy and love. We are treating people in a different way. When we let go of the obligation and responsibility that feels so heavy, we release that and become lighter. We aren't weighed down by those things. We aren't weighed down by obligation or resentment or anger or frustration because of the things that we aren't doing for ourselves, that we are doing for others instead. But it's that piece of like, fill your own cup first. Or on the plane, when the oxygen mask drops down, put yours on before you help someone else. We look at those analogies and we kind of scoff at them, but that is the truth. If you are not taking care of yourself, you are not capable of taking care of anyone else. You will not do it from a capacity that is loving, that is taking care of yourself, of nurturing all, instead of nurturing everyone but you. This year is that change, that shift. There is this expansiveness of this year. They're kind of like, we're not telling you what's going on because it's different for everybody else. Everybody's going to have their own way that they move through this energy. But the word purpose comes through. So that'll be our fourth theme for this year, purpose. There is a deeper understanding and awareness of our purpose. And the purpose isn't always big and splashy and bright. Sometimes the purpose is small and inward and so sincere and actually quite grand. But there is a deeper understanding. When we can move into that flow, that frequency, we see where we belong. When we take care of ourselves, when we tap into our heart center, we know where we belong. We know how we want to move through our lives. We know how we want to show up. And that is massive. And that is a huge part of the evolution that we are moving through this year. They are reminding me it's a year 9 in numerology, which is a year of completion. They are acknowledging that we have come so far, that there has happened many, many things to create the frequency that you are standing in right now. You have sacrificed and given up, but you have also learned, you have trudged through the trenches of spiritual warfare, and you have allowed yourself to feel your way through and to connect to yourself at a deeper level to understand who you are. And this year, you are being asked deeply to step into that. Again, it is a year of remembering. A remembering who you are. I love it. Okay, they're asking me to move into the months. We're starting in January, of course. It is January 2025. The theme this month is a letting go, an allowance. They are asking us to step into this frequency lightly, is the words they're using. We are shifting so dramatically that there needs to be this ease and gentleness in the shift that we are taking. They are assuring me that the energy, as it settles into our frequency, into our body, into our cells, into our etheric, that we will be able to assimilate it quickly, but we need to be gentle with ourselves as we do it. This month is about awareness and opening up. So the focus is being present, to be able to examine, to witness, to be. But they're saying beware, don't overanalyze it, and don't judge. It isn't about knowing the how. It isn't about understanding everything. It is about being in the moment and understanding the moment. When we deeply understand where we are, the how becomes this thing that just happens instead of this logical brain, I've got to wrap my head around it. So practice presence in January. Practice presence with allowance and judgment-free. Releasing analyzing, releasing judging, and just being present in knowing what is happening in the moment. February 2025. This month, the heart chakra is opening wider. Yeah, I don't think we thought we could get any bigger, but we will get bigger this month. And I know February is the month of love. It's Valentine's Day. It's the day my oldest was born, so it's always an extra special day for me. They're showing me this heart frequency, and we talked about this. The deeper we understand ourself, which is happening in January, the more we're able to step into this heart frequency. They're giving me like this dead stop in February because it becomes so important. This is something that we have to acknowledge and accomplish in February. What we do in January opens the door for this in February. The focus is on self-care, self-nurturing, and self-expression. Ooh, okay. It's going to be challenging. Yes. And I'm sending you so much light and love around this because, again, we're not hardwired for this. It's going to be challenging to flip the switch. Again, they're asking you to beware about being hard on yourself. Judgment is going to come up and we're going to ignore it. Be gentle with yourself. Be very gentle. March. They're sinking me into a hot tub. I'm all about this. They're like, it's not a hot tub, it's a hot spring. It's natural. I'm like, thank you. Of course it is. We're simmering in it for the month of March 2025. There is very much this assimilation kind of feeling. It's like, just be in it. Feel yourself through it, be in it. So the focus is just feeling. The feelings, and I knew this was going to come up, feeling our way through this year is going to be important. The feelings of March are of awareness. We've done a lot in January and February, and in March, it is really about how do we own all of that? And they want you to just kind of simmer in it, to lay back and relax, to rest, but not to like ignore, instead to get more present, but in a relaxed state. They're acknowledging this piece of detachment. And detachment is such a magical thing. It allows us to see things without our logical brain, without our emotional heart, but just to actually bear witness. And it is so powerful just to step back and view, to observe. Again, no analyzing, no judgment, no trying to figure it all out. Just be present and be aware. They're like, please, in March, turn off your analytics, turn off your judgments, turn off the deciphering it all. We don't need to figure it all out. Just chill in that hot spring. April 2025. They're showing me the flowers blooming. There is this feeling of freshness and new frequency. I do feel like there is some kind of frequency thing happening this month, and maybe they'll give us a little bit more about that. But in April, They're acknowledging the growth beneath the surface. And this is always the growth I think we have the hardest time with. We like validation, so we like to see the outward stuff. But they're very much acknowledging the roots that we're growing. And to me, the way that they're showing me, they're just starting. There is this structure that is creating stability, but they're not like deep, deep roots that are going down into the earth. They're still very surfaced. They're underneath the surface, but they're very surface level. They're saying we need to acknowledge that work that we do. We underestimate the power of the inward work, the roots that we grow. We want to see what happens. We want to see the outcome. And they're like, just see it start to grow. It's like they're showing me all the green stems with no flowers on top, no blossoms, no blooms. Everything's still like closed tight. The focus of this month is inward and down. They're like, and down. Not down as in energy down, but down as in roots. If we can build a strong foundation and create the stability and grounding that we are looking for in April, it will trickle out into the next several months to see the outcome piece of it, to see what we have created. But there has to be this planting in April. They're like, the beware this month is just be still. Let go of the urge to run. Let go of the urge to like push it. It's not about forcing. It is about being. It is a year of being, my friends, a year of being. Okay. May 2025. They're showing me some mud. Oh dear. This month will be sticky. The challenge is, have you taken what you have learned and have you created the roots to give yourself the foundation? They're showing me the lotus flower and reminding me that it comes from the mud. Yes, we know. But the patience we have to have. Think about that lotus flower and it comes from the bottom of a pond deep into the mud. How long it takes before it cracks through the surface. And when it does, it's like it's through and it's this flower. That's the final phase. So they are reminding us that the mud part is so specific and so powerful and so, they're like giving me determination and eloquence. And like, we just have to understand that this part is so crucial. The focus is very heart, is very inward, is very soulful, is very like be, and just be gentle, be. If you try to force, you're ripping the roots out. That's your beware for this month. Do not pull those roots. Do not rip them out. It is not beneficial. And to be able to keep them deep, we have to be patient. But there is going to be this feeling of wanting things to happen, and they are reminding you how long it takes for that tiny bulb down in the mud to come up and above the surface. Be patient. June 2025. Playful puppy. I like it. I'll take it. That's probably why they made me wear the puppy headband today. There's always a purpose. There is a lightness in the air in the month of June. The energy is going to shift and you're going to feel this lightness come in, almost rushing in as June 1st hits. They're like, this month is about playfulness. Remembering to have fun and to play, to get out in the sunshine. The focus this month is very much about how we balance work and play. How we embody the fun. Because we all know that the universe conspires with us when we have fun to give us more. The universe loves it when we have joy. And it will continue to give us more. It is a powerful month. And they're like, please leave it at that. Come on, give us a little bit more. It is a very powerful month. They're showing me moon energy. There is something about the frequency of the moons in that month, the planetary alignments. And y'all know I'm not an astrologer. I pick it up as I go. But there is something big that is happening energetically this month. Oh, they're like, that's the perfect motion. It is going to feel like a whirlwind in June. The energy and the frequency pick up significantly. And our awareness of, again, all we have learned is so key in being able to move through this and actually use the energy to catapult ourselves. For those that have pulled your roots, it's going to be a challenging month because you're going to feel like your head is spinning off. So it's important to focus the month before on keeping that grounding. I love it. July 2025. The frequency of waves, they're showing me, again, I chose blue today, right? Waves and water, but they feel gentle. They feel significant. It's not just a ripple on the water. There are waves. They are reminding us to flow, that there are ups and downs. There are moments where we cap and sink back down again. The purpose of each of these waves is to show you something, to help you create deeper alignment. Remember, this year is about aligning with our frequency, aligning with our energy, our heart energy, our soul energy. Ride the waves, my friends. Grab your surfboard and ride them. When we choose to flow, we release resistance. We open ourselves up to the path that we are being shown. And they're like, we always give you the path of least resistance if you choose to take it. But many of you do not. Many of you choose the harder path. Many of you think it's important to climb the mountain. But the reality is that was never the plan. Yes, it might sometimes take longer to go around it, but often it is a much easier journey, they are saying. So put down your climbing gear and grab your canoe instead. Paddle. Flow with the currents and ride the waves because they are showing you the right direction. It is a powerful month of reflection. Again, the beware is this piece of like not beating ourselves up and not questioning or resenting or looking at what we didn't do. Instead, that reflection is this place of where am I and where do I want to go and how do I align deeper to get there? Okay, August 2025, it's my birthday month. They're showing me the sun. And they're like, bask in what you've accomplished so far. It is important to celebrate ourselves and to bask in the sun. Again, it feels like a lot of stillness this month. It feels like presence and stillness. It doesn't feel like action. It is more of a month of being than it is of doing. They're like, it's a month of absorbing, taking it all in. This feels like the catapult month. The things we experience in this month are showing us where we are going closer to the end of the year. They're clear that it is important that things are lining up. We again, beware the forcing. They're like, we have this like need for validation, for need for action, for seeing outcomes. And they're like, slow down again. Just lay back in the sunshine. Be present in it. We don't feel like we're deep down in the mud. This is that piece of when the lotus flower hits the top of the surface and that sun beams down, it encourages it to open. But you've seen how many petals are in a lotus flower. They don't open all at the same time. It is this gentle unfolding. And that is the theme of August, the gentle unfolding. Beware the forcing, and instead allow the gentle unfolding in August, basking in the sunshine. Okay, September 2025. They're showing me a bird. It feels like a blackbird of some sort, a crow, a raven. Our ravens carry so much magic. Interesting. How do I want to put this? They're showing me the bird. They're showing me it. They're using the word scavenging. And I keep seeing shiny objects. Maybe it's a magpie. Gotta love it. I'm totally a magpie. No, they're like, it's clear it's a raven. There are so many treasures buried beneath this surface. But do you have the courage to dive for them? We have to acknowledge feelings and emotions. We have to clear up the mess, the gunk, the debris, to be able to truly hold the treasures. And I think this is the beautiful part through their message is like the shiny things are just shiny junk. They don't have material value. The glimmers that we get in our lives, those are the magic. It was never about the money. It's what the money does, right? It's the money gives us freedom, which allows us space to be, to love, to have joy and happiness, and to fly, to find those shiny objects, which are actually experiences and moments in our life. They are the shiny spots. There is so much love in the energy that they're bringing in for September. There is this deep awareness, community, self-love, love for others. It is this full embodiment of this heart-centered way, of stepping into the flow, the alignment, the frequency. They're like, it's all coming together this month. But we have to be willing to experience the things, the depths. It's kind of what we've been doing right now, where these feelings, emotions are bubbling. It's like the next layer in September. But it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like a burden. It just feels like this beautiful acknowledgement of what we've learned already. And that we are embodying that, and we are, reflecting it back into the universe that we have learned. October 2025. As they show me a jack-o'-lantern, which I appreciate as a Halloween junkie. And we are being reminded of magic this month. There is so much magic. The miracles and blessings that happen each and every day. Again, these glimmers, there is this awareness of the magic in each day, the moments. It's the little things like looking and seeing a heart melted in the snow or in the shape of something that is sitting on the ground. The cardinal that shows up, the dime from heaven, the synchronicity, the thinking of someone and them calling or messaging or showing up in your social media feed in a way that you can acknowledge. It is the moments that we are so blessed to experience. And we often consider these as big things, but they're not. They're just the everyday little stuff. When we have the joy in those, our life becomes so much fuller. So acknowledge the magic in October. They are acknowledging that at this point, we can really be in this frequency that we have been trying to move into. We are learning how to actually hold this frequency on the day to day. We are moving in it. instead of in and out of it, just through it, flowing. Their beware this month is to not question it. The focus is trusting in it and flowing through it is such a gorgeous way to be. It's so powerful and so beautiful and so connected. And they're like, life gets easier on the other side. On the other side of all the muck and the gunk. Okay, keep going. They're like, stay in this frequency and keep going. November 2025, immediately they're showing me beautiful snowflakes. As we move into hibernation again, into stillness once again, it is a moment of allowing our bodies to catch up. It's almost like just taking that pause to smell the roses, to acknowledge how far we've come once again. This pause. When they show me this, it's like, I love when the snow comes down and you watch it and it's like that new snow. There's this beautiful blanket. There's no footprints. It's just peaceful and serene and like heartfelt, soulful. This month is this soulfulness, this inwardness, this celebration of what we have accomplished throughout the year. And again, there's this awareness of not forcing and just being. Being. They even wanted me to be quiet, to allow us to feel the pause that comes in November. December 2025. This is another month of expansion. And they're like, be clear that expansion isn't necessarily action. It can have action, but it isn't necessarily action. Often the most expansion we do is in the stillness. I talked about this last night at New Year's Eve. This culmination of all we have learned in 2025 allows us to step into another year as a completely different person than we are today. There is this no stress, no tension, no tightness, no shoulders squishing up against the ears. It is just freedom. It is this ease and peace that we find. And for some, that is going to make for an incredibly challenging year, as it's not something you have ever embraced before. And for others, it is going to feel like this amazing spiritual evolution because you've been working on it for so long, and it's just going to be so smooth. They are reminding us that it is our choice. It is our choice how we move through this year of 2025. You choose your perception. You choose your mindset. You choose your vision. So what will you choose? Can you make this year the greatest year yet? Well, they're like, well, of course. But will you choose that? It is in your hands, your choice. Thank you. Thank you for finding your way through to the end. I love the channeling of the information and what they bring forward for us. They are telling me that every month I will make things clearer and clearer. So always return back from month to month to hear the messages and to be reminded of these focuses and the things that we are working on. they're acknowledging my job this year is big, and I'm grateful for that. I am here in service. I take such joy in passion in working with my clients and watching them find clarity and freedom as they step into flow, as they acknowledge the blocks and do the hard friggin' soul work that is required to elevate and to become free. It is such a gift to be able to be in this role and to be your spiritual tour guide. It is a gift that I do not take lightly, that I am grateful for each and every day. It is a gift. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to share my purpose with all of you, for being here on this journey with me and supporting me and loving me through it and allowing me to do the same right back again. May your 2025 be filled with blessings, with love, with abundant joy, with an awareness of the choices that take you in the direction that you want to go. A release of resistance, a surrender to the energy and to the flow, to the frequency of this year that will smoothly glide us through if you choose to. It is going to be a beautiful, beautiful year. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you can energy exchange with me today, in thanks for this message, I would be incredibly humbled. Share it, like it, comment, save it. All of those things mean the world to me because it means that you see the messages and you are part of the frequency. You are part of this greater experience of life. You are on this spiritual journey, and it allows others to also see, to plug those that need to hear in to the messages that will take them to the next level too. Because it is not about winning for just one of us. It is about winning for all of us, because that is the greatest power that we have. From my heart and soul to yours, until the next time. Bye now.